All right, we're going to start this webinar Wednesday with the tip of the week that we have. And today we want to talk about how you can, I think, easily increase your sign-up conversion rates by adding simple confidence boosters to your checkout pages and honestly throughout your website. And Patrick, Gabe, and I were talking about this topic. We do have some examples for you. But in case you don't know what confidence boosters, I'm going to pass it over to Pat. Can you kind of explain to us what confidence boosters are and how they can be used?
Sure thing, Jason. So a confidence booster is something that you want to put on your website. It shouldn't be flashy. It shouldn't be distracting. It should almost be entering somebody's subconscious in the sense that, and while they're purchasing something on your website or they're signing up, you may not really notice them when you're browsing the internet and you're looking at different websites to sign up or purchase products. But I can assure you they're everywhere, just so they can ease you to know that you're in good hands.
Yeah, and I like the key phrase here, subtle elements, because you don't want things that are in people's faces that it kind of makes it cheapens it and makes it a little tacky. It loses its value or luster, and we're going to show you some examples of that. So there are tons of benefits of confidence boosters, but I think the one that is the most important is the fact that with a confidence booster, you can increase your sign up and conversion rates. Patrick came up with this one to eliminate doubts and fears. And can you elaborate on what you mean by that exactly? How a confidence booster can actually eliminate fears?
Absolutely. And especially in today's day and age, there's just a lot of doubt online about creating accounts. So taking time to reassure somebody before they're about to make a purchase or before they're about to sign up and just explain, perhaps it could be, for example, it could be that you're on an SSL or it's secure payments, or maybe you could tell them what you're going to do with their data, all those different types of elements on the sign up page. It's not that they notice when it's there, it's more that they realize something's kind of missing when they're not. It's not something that you're going to put on and again, people are going to say, wow, that's great, that makes me want to sign up, but it may be what causes somebody not to sign up.
Yeah, and I think when we go into the examples, it's going to be clear to see how not having confidence boosters kind of leaves people in a weird abyss, no man's land, sort of, to fend for themselves on if they're slightly on the fence, if they should move forward with the sign up or if they should abandon the checkout process. And that actually takes us to number 4, which is reducing abandoned checkouts. Abandoned checkouts is very common with e-commerce websites. You put everything in your cart, you get to the checkout page, and you say that you don't want to buy it anymore. You don't want to finish the sign-up process, so you leave the website. And confidence boosters are definitely tools that can help reduce that abandoned checkout rate that you might have on your site.
That's that's correct, and I think one of the main reasons this is so valuable to a lot of people listening in today's webinar is, if you go to Twitter.com or if you go to Facebook, they don't really have confident boosters. You can sign up right on their homepage, but it's a renowned brand. Facebook might not be a good example of a good reputation these days, but people do feel confidence with those brands. They recognize those brands, so they don't need to have as many confidence boosters during that process. But a lot of us here today, you're starting out a new venture or your brand isn't known nationwide or statewide or citywide. So it may be necessary just to give your potential buyers or members a little bit more information so that they don't abandon that checkout and they proceed with the full process.
That's right. And again, we're going to have to see some examples to really understand this, but you actually brought up a good point, is that confidence boosters can help tell people more about your company, what they're signing up for, and also what your company stands for. So through the confidence boosters, and we're going to show you some examples like having a secured checkout page, it shows that you care about your customers' security and protection. And that goes a long way because that's just one way of letting them know that you're on top of your game and that you care about the customer and their experience. And the thing lastly with these confidence boosters, it just makes the checkout pages look more professional because Again, we're going to show you some examples, but with a more professional look, you can sign up more people, you can show reputable brands, you can show smiley faces and things like that with the confidence boosters. So here are just a few types of confidence boosters. There's obviously many more, but Patrick was insisting that we put SSL security at the top of this list. Can you explain what SSL security is? I can show an example of this while you're explaining that and why that is so important, especially in 2018 now.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, it's to ensure that information gets passed along in an encrypted fashion. And these days on the internet, it really, like it says on the slide, it is an absolute must to be providing an SSL, an SSL certificate. If you don't have an SSL certificate, depending on the browser that you're on, they might even get a big warning that says this website is not secure. And I can assure you, if you read that something is not secure before you're going to pass your credit card information over it, or sign up, then that would be perhaps an issue. I know Brilliant Directories, right, Jason? You guys have taken measures to ensure it doesn't happen on the actual sign up page, but on all the other pages of the website, they would be seeing that.
Correct. So here's the example. We're gonna just spoiler alert. Here's the example site that we're gonna use to show you the confidence boosters. So this is the regular front end of the site. You can see that there's a lock with a slash through it. This is on Firefox, and it says connection is not secure. Brilliant Directories does provide you with a secure checkout page if you don't have your own SSL certificate for your site. So let's click on this featured listing here. So it still has it's still branded with your logo, but it's taking you to a website called Secure My Payment. It's branded with your logo. It's still your sign up page and everything. But we do need to provide your members with a secure checkout. So let me just, if you don't have an SSL certificate, I'll just show you real quick where to get one. You can go to our add-ons page, and it's actually, again, it made the top of the list that Patrick is talking about now. It's also ahead of all the other add-ons that we offer is an SSL certificate. So if you don't have one and your site's starting to gain more traffic and you want to provide your members or potential members with a good sign-up experience, you'll definitely want an SSL certificate on your site.
Mm-hmm.
Number two was displaying reputable brands. So along with a secure checkout, you can also mention that you accept Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and PayPal. And while all that is nice to mention, showing those brands on your page adds a little bit more professionalism and makes your site a little bit more reputable that it's associated with those logos and those brands. And let's kind of go a little bit ahead. I think we really need to see some examples here for kind of this to sink in. So here is a checkout page where we've added, and we're going to show you guys how you can do this on your own website. But this module up here, it says verified and secure checkout. This is actually an image that we'll provide you guys on this webinar. But we've put these logos here: Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express. The page would look fine without them, but in my opinion, it looks better with it, and it tells the customer what they can do, that they're here to pay for something, and these are the forms of payment that are accepted. So it's not only information that you're sharing, but it's helping the checkout page look a little bit more reputable. You can also list the top benefits of joining. And I guess at this point, I'm just going to keep toggling a little bit back and forth between the two. And over here, we kind of just copied what we had on our Brilliant Directories checkout pages. But you can simply create a list of your top benefits of joining your site. And I wouldn't list add photos and add coupons as your top benefits. People are looking for exposure and visibility or something that's going to benefit their business. I would focus on those types of benefits rather than just things they can do on your site. So you can really think about what the top benefits for a member to join your site are and include them on a list here on the checkout page. So as they're putting in their information, you're eliminating fears and doubts. You're actually boosting their confidence to sign up. And that's why these are called confidence boosters.
Also, I find when people are getting when they're signing up for a site, one of the things that they like to know the most is what's going to happen after they sign up. There's a little bit of anxiety in terms of what's next, and the more you can clarify that, for example, you could say receive a welcome call after sign up, receive take set up your your profile in under 5 minutes. Those types of confident boosters, and people know, okay, if I just complete this step, those are the next thing I'm going to be able to do, and that just increases confidence in the buyer's journey to proceed.
I love that, Pat. Yeah, not only your top list of things to do, but just literally tell them what happens next. I think when people give their credit cards, especially when signing up for a service, a membership community, whatever it is, they definitely want to know what the next steps are. So if you said what happens next, set up your profile, list your preferences, and get connected with more clients. Even if it's 3 or 4 things, that's fine, but it gives them a path to the finish line. And the first step in that to reaching that path to the finish line is getting past this checkout page. And of course, always a testimonial is a great way to boost confidence in a new potential member who's joining your site, is sharing the success or experience of an existing member that's already part of your community. And a testimonial is a more technical term in marketing is social proof, which is showing how other people have had success with your product or service. In this case, we have a title, some short words, and obviously you can find a member of your site or community that would like to be featured, and you can show a photo of them or potentially their logo on the checkout page as well.
And and what I find works best with testimonials, and sometimes they could be a little fluffy. I like to pinpoint a problem that I think a member could relate to. So if the testimonial could address a problem that the website solved in that testimonial, whatever your website is solving or profile could resolve on their end, I find those to be the best performing one. And I've actually seen a couple of people put a link here to that profile page, so they can say, check out my profile here, just in case they're just not quite sure they want to pay $199 yet. They click there, and of course it would be the best profile you'd want to show somebody in that step. But all of that just boosts confidence.
That's an awesome suggestion. Is view my profile or something like that here. And then again, there's tons of confidence boosters, and you can mix and match how you want to use them on your site. One of the last ones we wanted to recommend, which is a feature with Brilliant Directories as an add-on, is to provide a promo code directly on the checkout page. So for new signups, you can just have a promo code that's available for them to use. And I think at the top of this page, we're using the banner here, and it says August signup event. Save 25%, and there's a promo code here. It's 25 off. I don't know if we made that promo code work on this site. Let's just check. Yeah, it's not an active promo code, but you could put that in the sidebar. You could keep it in the banner here. You could put it closer towards the bottom. You can kind of design it so it's like right near the pricing area, so they see it nice. You can make an image. But putting a promo code there, so if anyone had any qualms about the price, they can feel that they're getting a special today, and everyone likes a little extra discount just to ease the sign up process just a bit. So these are just 5 ideas. What I'd like to do is, and we weren't planning on this, is if anyone, I'm going to lower anyone's hands. If anyone else is using confidence boosters on their checkout pages, I'd love to hear what you're doing. We can unmute your microphone. We've got a couple people here. Hey, Vincent, I've unmuted your microphone.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. So are you using confidence boosters on your site or checkout pages?
Well, I thought some of these were really great. I used the SL security thing. I think that's absolutely a must right now. Google seems to be pushing the...
it's cracking the whip on that, yeah.
Absolutely. I thought this was a great idea about the Visa, MasterCard, PayPal thing. I learned a lot just from watching this, but I realized that it's the more you can make it look legit, the better. But it does seem though like when people want your product, they seem to call. If they're, they'll call and ask questions sometimes before to make sure they feel comfortable. That's something I don't see you doing too much there. I don't see any like phone number. Like it seems like sometimes people, they're like, here, what I have found is that people want to call, email, text, chat, or messenger. And that's something that we have been looking into, how to add text and chat and messenger to the website. Do you have anything like that that's coming up? Or
Yeah. So a couple things. So first of all, great suggestion on the phone number. One of the top ones here could be, say, like, need help, have questions before setting up your account. Call us now, and you can have an 800 number or a local number. What's really cool about 800 numbers or local numbers, when you have them for your website, some people think there always needs to be someone there to answer the phone. You could just set up a really nice voicemail, and just have people leave a message, say, you've caught our outside our office hours, leave a message and we'll get back to you soon. So you can just have the calls go to the voicemail or forward to your phone at different times of the day. So that's one reason people might be afraid to get phone numbers, is they don't want to get bombarded with phone calls. But if you're just happy with checking the messages and calling people back at your leisure, that's a good way to get the phone calls. Regarding the chat or the SMS, what I would recommend that's built in with Brilliant Directories is we do have the Facebook website chat tool. And with this, you can have exactly how it shows. You can have a chat box right on all your web pages. So potentially, if someone does have questions about signing up, they could chat with you. And what I like about the Facebook website chat is if you download the Messenger app on your phone, you can basically go back and forth with a website visitor, just like you're sending your friend a text message. Say, yeah, how can I help you? Okay, you're looking for this. And you can kind of give them great customer service right from your phone when you're on the go. So that's one way to kind of get the back and forth chat with someone who's going through the checkout process, Vince.
I didn't even know you had that. That's pretty neat. But the other thing about the phone number, to me, it seems like not only does Google want to see SSL, they also want to see a real address, a real phone number. Even if I use tracking numbers, but I got caught the other day by accidentally using a phone number that Google associated with another business on another website by accident, and I had to do a lot of talking to Google to explain, yes, don't kick me off of the maps because that was a mistake, But every site now has its own tracking number, and you can send that tracking number to wherever you want. But
got you. Yeah, we could.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that before?
I haven't seen that before about a website having a tracking number, but I definitely like the idea of having some contact details on a checkout page. So some people who might need a little bit of hand-holding have an option to reach out to your organization to complete the sign-up process. That's a great suggestion. So mixing and matching the different types of confidence boosters to suit your website's needs is something you can definitely do. And we already did look at some examples here. So here we have kind of like a top 10, or not a top 10 list, but a list of your top features, some type of, that the page is verified and secured, some credit card icons, a testimonial, and then we saw the promo code option, and also Vince had a great idea on providing a way for people to contact you if they might be on the fence or have questions before the sign up process. The goal here is to ease and eliminate fears and doubts and get them to the finish line of the sign up process. So what we wanted to do is show you how you can add confidence boosters to your site. And Pat, I know we didn't plan this. Do you mind if I kind of pass over the presenter role to you, and you can kind of show us how you created the sidebar there with the confidence boosters on the interior design demo site that we have?
Sure thing. Gabe, would you mind opening up the, putting a link in the chat for the page that you created here?
You know what? I can do that. So we have good news for everyone. Gabe was nice enough to put together this article. It's pretty simple on how to add this type of confidence booster to your site with the code that you can copy and paste. You probably just need to change some of the text here to suit your website's goals. Let me pop this in the chat for you, Pat.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much.
Okay, you should. The entire audience should have received that now.
All right.
All right, so I'm going to pass over the controls to you.
Okay, thank you very much. So here's the article that we just shared, and I'm not gonna read through the article since everybody here has it, but I will go over the steps that I followed to set this up. The most important things to know are, one, this is the code that you need to copy in order to create a widget. So what I did was I copied all of this code, and then inside of the admin itself, and this is the Brilliant Directories admin here, we can go into the widget manager. And you'll see that I created a widget and I just called it confidence. So here we can go and open up the code and you'll see that this is the code that I posted in there. So if I want to change the words, I can change them right here. It's quite easy to make edits. So you can, instead of it saying a platform you can trust, you can have it say what happens next, like Jason had just mentioned, and then list what happens next for you. And then you'll notice that on this code, there's two things that it's calling. It's calling an image here, and it's calling an image here. So what you'll have to do to complete the setup, if you want the images that are on the page that we're showing you on today's webinar, we've actually added them to the bottom here, so you can see we have the secure checkout image. So we can open it here, save the image as, and then download it.
Right, and then upload it to your image manager in the admin.
Precisely.
Right.
And once it's uploaded into your images folder, it's going to instantly display on the front end of the website.
Yeah, I always say it looks like a lot of complicated code, but if you just stick to the black text that's there and just change that to your needs, you shouldn't have too much trouble with these 3 different modules.
Correct. It's quite easy. And again, with this great article that Gabe put together from top to bottom, it really gives you all the different steps that you have to follow, which is great. There is one little detail that I think would be helpful to show, and that is when you're actually managing the different products, you may want to have a different confidence boost for different membership levels. So in this case, the example that Jason shared was for premium members. So if we click edit, you'll notice that one of the first settings we see is actually allowing us to decide what sign up page sidebar we want to display. So in this instance, what we did is we created a sidebar and then we called that widget that we just created, and that's why this particular sign up page has those confidence boosters.
So Pat, can you show us how you created a sidebar, you put your newly made widget in that sidebar, which has all your fancy code in it, and then in the membership level, you're saying, hey, show this sidebar on the checkout page.
That's correct. That's exactly what I did. So all I did was I clicked on the button, create a new sidebar, and I could do it right now so everybody can see how easy it is. It just takes seconds. I can give it I could call it the featured sidebar.
For your featured membership level, right?
Exactly, for my featured membership levels.
I think it just takes a second to save. There you go.
And we have it here at the top, and then I click edit, and since it's the new sidebar, it means it's going to be blank on the right hand side. And then all I need to do is remember the name of the widget. I know in this case it was confidence, so I just start typing, and what I love, it's really quick to show you all the widgets that match that. I just drag this into this sidebar, I save the changes, and just like that, I have a new custom sidebar. So now what I can do is I can go into this, into the different products. I can find the featured level. I can click edit. And maybe what we can do actually before I add that there, we'll just take a quick look and see what that page looks like currently. This is how it looks. There are no confidence boosters. This is how most directory sign up pages look today, I would say, and probably won't be the case after today's webinar, hopefully. If we go back into this and change the membership level settings, what we're going to do is we're going to say that we want a sidebar. We want to have a sidebar on our sign up page, and we're going to say we would like it to be the featured sidebar, which we just created. And I can control if I want that to be on the left or on the right. I prefer for it to be on the right because, again, I don't want it to be front and center. And people read from left to right. And I'd like them to focus on the form, but you can give me a completely different perspective and say, isn't that the whole point of the confidence boosters, is to give them confidence before signing up? And you may be right. So you can do some A/B testing and find out which of the two works best for your particular niche. So now when we refresh this page, we have our beautiful confidence boosters on the right side, giving us a much more refined product.
That's great. That's super. And it's super easy, to be honest. You got to finagle a little bit of the codes for the modules that you want. It's probably as simple as the HTML would get. And again, if you're just working around the black text there, you shouldn't have too many issues. So yeah, we'd love to see in the next webinar, I'm going to grab the controls back to you. If you didn't have confidence boosters on your checkout pages and you're going to add them, we'd love to check them out in the next webinar. Just send us an email, events@brilliantdirectories.com. Say, hey, I added confidence boosters to my checkout page, and we will be happy to kind of review it in the next webinar. And we put the link or the title of the article that Gabe created. Probably if you just type confidence boosters in our support portal, you'll find that article pretty easily. And we also shared a link to that article in the chat here for GoToWebinar. Let's try to take just one or two more questions about confidence boosters before we move on to the next segment. Barry, do you have any questions about confidence boosters?
Yeah, I'm using the option. I'm only giving my customers the option to a free sign up initially. I'm not even taking a credit card or payment on the initial sign up. But when they go to the site, they can only sign up to the free account.
That's fine. You can with that, the free account might be incentive enough for people to sign up. It's such a short form to get started. But it again, you might just want to use one confidence booster, maybe what happens next, or a testimonial that might suffice in a situation where you just have a free sign up.
The majority are actually preloaded, so they will have received an email from me in the first place. And yes, there is an intention to put a note in the sidebar explaining that support videos will be available to show them how to fill in, etc. That is all planned, but that's not done yet, but it's on its way.
Hopefully you can join in the next webinar, and we'd love to take a look at the progress you've made on that.
Oh, we'll do that.
All right. Thank you so much, Barry. Guys, I want to show you one more thing, and I noticed it when Pat was sharing his screen. Let me go to the checkout page here. You'll notice it says create account : and then the name of the membership level. Let me show you how you can change this text, create account. I can show you 2 steps. I can show you how to change that. Let's go to the admin dashboard. And where you want to go is to your SEO templates. This is under your content tab section. And these are all your SEO templates. It's basically all your dynamic pages, the search results pages, the member profile pages. You can set up kind of the metadata and meta titles. We've kind of touched on this in other webinars, but let's forget about all that. If you want to change this text, create account, or remove it, what you can do is search for the word checkout. This would be the easiest thing. I know it's, if I scroll to the bottom, I'll see it, but you guys can search for checkout. And this is your for all your checkout pages. I'm going to go ahead and edit this. And over here is the title of the page. Now let me show you what you're looking at here. Let me open this up a bit. Let me put this on another line. This with the percentage signs is the variable name for the product that you're looking at. So this is the featured member, the premium member. This will change on the fly. This code here with the span, it's just going to ensure that if it's a long membership level name, it'll stick on the same line. It's more for aesthetics. Here is the create listing. Now this is in percentage signs because listing is also a text label. So some people might call it account or profile, but you can change this totally, and you can do something like sign up below, and I'll do something. This is a break, so it'll put it on a new line break. Let me just put these back on the same line, and I'm going to save the changes. So we've changing create account to sign up below, and it says featured here. So you might want to change the name of featured to featured listing, so it's a little more elaborate there. Or you could do it right here in the text and put the word listing if you're just calling your membership level featured. So now it would say sign up below, and then the name of the product, and then the word listing. So this is a good way to just get a little bit more control over the titles of your sign up pages here. Hope that was a little bit helpful there for you guys.